Hey everybody, happy Monday. If you're watching this on a replay, put hashtag replay in the comments. I love it when people just keep watching the videos for, I don't know, I get notices after even like a week or so that people have watched them. So I don't know, that's cool. I'm trying to get everything. There we go. I think we're set. So put in the comments if you're watching, what you're working on. I apologize if you can hear the noise in the background. It shouldn't last too long. They're playing with the gates out there. Hi, Julie. I just realized I didn't bring any knitting for my hands to be working on. Well, I did, but it's way buried under a pile of yarn. So anybody who watches that was downstate or lives downstate, how much of that rain did you get yesterday afternoon? It was crazy. We came out of an event after it was all done and there was just standing water everywhere. It must have been just, I don't know. I don't know what happened. We missed it. Stacy, Julie working on Malachor socks with bamboo pop. Hi, Malcolm. Jody, Mary, Nicole working on her Chocomania. Gail says the wall looks good. You may not be able to tell right away. Those of you who have been in the shop might be able to tell. I'm at the completely opposite end, other end of the shop. So this is all worsted and DK down there. So I think I figured out how to do different angles without, I mean, I'm using the sawhorse that I normally use to wind yarn. I took the ball winder and the Swift off of it and I'm moving that around. So it was quite a thing, but I have time. The things I do for you guys. Joyce waiting for sock madness. 7/10 of an inch. Gail, is that a lot? I don't know if that's a lot. No, wow, working on your pure local. Awesome. Hi, Sherry. So we had Victoria had a dance competition this weekend down at Walled Lake, and like I said, we were indoors all day and we walked out afterwards after they got done at, I don't know, 5:30 or so. And I mean, you could tell there was just this massive downpour. All the major roads had just standing water you didn't want to drive through. Brenda, Bev, 700. Oh yeah, I can do math too. So not very much. Debbie, I think it was really isolated. I don't know. It was crazy. We saw it in the distance. We got up back towards Saginaw and everything was dry. Okay, well, it is after 7, so I will go ahead and officially get started. Welcome to Monday Motivation. Today is May 16th. My name is Kristen. I am the owner of the Little Yarn Shop in downtown Saginaw, Michigan, inside the SBRC Marketplace. Hours are, I don't know why I have to think about this. It's been the same for over a year. Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Open it Thursday evenings. Starts 6:30-ish till whenever they decide to leave. Deb's hosting drop-in classes on Monday, which they meet up front while I'm in here doing this. And that's for any project that you're working on, whether you are one of the people in her Basics and Beyond class, if you're doing one of the sweater workshops with her, if you're working on baby stuff, all kinds of different things. Hello, hello, hello. Barb, Mom, Joan, Rosaria. That's a name I don't think I've seen very often. So for those of you along those lines, the Monday night drop-ins are probably going to start being officially kicking off the circlet cardigan. I know quite a few of you have gotten your yarn or have maybe swatched or gotten started, but Deb is, I think we're gonna like officially kick that off next Monday. You don't have to come to the Monday nights to work on it. She just is kind of making sure that people know it's really, she's definitely available for working on that on Monday nights. What else? I guess. Hi, Catherine. Oh, there we go. There's the circlet cardigan. Um, there, there's lots going on. I just don't even know where to start. So we had a busy weekend. Like I said, Saturday was my friend's baby shower, the one that I made the cute little honeycomb looking baby sweater and the honeycomb baby blanket. So I finally got to gift those to her. I might have shed a tear or two while she was opening it because, yeah, it's a really cool, special thing. That baby is a rainbow baby for her. And, babies are special. Hi, E. So we had that this weekend. So things going on around here. There are a lot of upcoming events. Worldwide Knitted Public Day is June 11th. I am working on what we're going to do that day. I have some things in the works. One of them might be with Jill Zielinski of Knitterella. We have to kind of iron out a few details, but I'm pretty sure we'll get to have her hanging out and maybe bringing some new yarn, which would be cool. So that's June 11th, which is a Saturday. I want to fill the market with knitters and crocheters. It should be a worldwide, I don't know, yarn in public. There's got to be kind of an all-encompassing term. I know in other languages, maybe in like English, UK English, to knit could be knit or crochet. It could be either one. Hi, Aunt Jackie. Nope, that's the other Jackie. Hi, Jackie. So that day we're open regular hours 10 to 6, but those of you that have been to the marketplace know that there are a lot of really cool places to sit around here. Fiber Day in SVRC. Worldwide Plays with Yarn Day. There we go. Oh, there we go. The origin denotes all about knitting over the years. Yes, inclusive. Fiber Lovers event. I had a good idea for what to call it. Melissa asked me earlier and I gave her some witty thing. Now I don't remember what it was. But I'd love to hear from you all if how structured or relaxed you would like to see an event be. That one or any other events. Do you prefer where it's kind of casual and like if Jill's here, it's just a meet and greet, meet up at the marketplace. There we go. That's what I said. Fiber Day in the SVRC. Yes, you will come up with some good names. So whether you want it casual where we just kind of come and go, or if you prefer something with a little bit more structure, if that is having a more specified timeline where it's 2 to 5, that is the official time. Let me know that too. I just want knitters here and crocheters here and spinners here all the time. And hopefully if it's a beautiful day, along the north side of the building here are lots of benches. There are picnic tables out there. We could always take over the boardroom patio if the weather permits. My dad says hello. Hi, Dad. So that is coming up. If you would prefer something more specific, tell me. I can, I'm the boss. I can make changes if I want, and we're still a couple weeks out. So yeah, some exciting things happening there. What else is coming up? The Marie Green 4-day knit along sweater. Officially, I knew this was going to happen, you guys. Hang on. There you go. But am I really the boss? Yes. So of course they had to put a sensor in here, a motion sensor, and it's way at the other end of the store. So that's one of the reasons I end up down at that end a lot of the time. You guys know that. So the Olive Knits 4-day sweater, she just released info today. So I can at least show you all what the sweater looks like. Super secret copy, not for anybody else to see. But it has a really wide array of gauge options. So it's written to either be in DK or worsted. She's working on compiling photos from some of the shops that have done samples. I know one of the shop owners groups I'm part of, that we're trying to kind of put together a collage of different color ideas, which I think is fantastic because it is 3 colors. So you've got one main color and then 2 contrast colors. There's that one. There's that little guy. As always, her sweaters are top down, seamless. Really, the only thing you have to pick up for is the button band in the front. The way she does her sizes, Melissa listed the DK one there. She just numbers them 1 to 9, but there is a wide range. Well, I'm glad you put that because I don't have that on my sheet. I only have yarn quantities. So she released today the photos, the theme, which is Sail Away, and pictures of the pattern. Starting May 26th, you'll be able to go on to Ravelry and pre-order the pattern, pay for the pattern, and get her swatch sheet, kind of a 1-page that has you swatch with the detail in there. So what's a little bit tricky in trying to find like a yarn that would be a really good fit based on gauge is that her gauge for this pattern is in that pattern stitch. It's not just in a straight stockinette where you could look on the label and see what their gauge is. Uses, she says, you're going to use, depending on your size, like if you looked at the DK bust sizes and decided you were going to be a 41.5, which would be the size 3. She's got the yarn requirements for that. So if you did the worsted one and you wanted a 41-inch bust, it's going to be a different, it's potentially going to be a different size. So your yardage is going to change. It's kind of hard to explain, but she's written it so you're going to use anywhere from 900 to just under 2,000 yards of your main color. And the max you use of your contrast color is 177 yards of color 1 and 168 yards of color 2. So for the most part, any of the yarns that I have here in the shop, whether it's DK or worsted, 1 skein of each of your 2 contrast colors is all you need. If it's 100-gram skein. I have a few little guys down here. No, down there somewhere. That are 50-gram skeins. So yarns, lots of options. Because it can be worsted or DK, that's kind of why I decided to be over here. So all of this behind me is Malabrigo Rios. which is a 100% superwash worsted weight wool. Their skeins have 210 yards. I should know it by heart by now. 210 yards in 100 grams. So you would need anywhere from 5 to 10. Yeah, anywhere from 5 to 10 based on the size you choose. With that, I can, with the information that we have, because it's not swatching information and we don't really need that right away, but because we have sizes and yardage, I can go ahead and start taking orders for pre-orders. Chances of me having 10 skeins from a single batch in any of the hand-dyed colors are going to be pretty slim. So I want to make sure that I order whatever you all need. What we used for the heart piercer. Some people used Rios, some people used Arroyo. So this is Rios, which is their worsted weight. Arroyo is down there. Well, that the top row is Malabrigo Dos Tierras, which would work really well. It's a DK weight yarn. It's a really neat chain plied yarn, merino alpaca blend. Then there's some Ridiculous. There's a lot of Malabrigo Arroyo over there. Kind of center here is Dreaming Colors Classy, which is kind of a light worsted. Variations, those yarns are beautiful, and I've got quite a few women working on that circlet cardigan in that variations yarn, or the Harvest DK, which is what we used for last year's knit along, which you can see, look, that's her hanging up there. When I was setting up at the other end of the store, she was right behind me. Now it's way over there. So lots of choices. If you like the variations yarn but want it a little bit heavier, not the variations, the Earth Harvest, they do offer a worsted version as well. And they have the same colors. They actually have a wider range of colors for fingering and worsted. The DK is kind of their newer addition to it. So we are ready to, either over the phone or in person, have you guys reach out and start talking about yarn. Along those lines, I will show you, I have sort of shown you the yarns that I'm using, and I'll show you mine in a minute. I'm using Wool Pop from Universal Yarns, which they consider a DK, 50% bamboo, 35% superwash wool, 15% polyamide nylon, 100 grams, 284 yards. So this kind of minty, I think they call it lily pad. It's kind of a minty green. Oh, I'm knocking all kinds of stuff down. Here's a little bit bluer version. So this is Blue Whisper. That's lily pad. If I had something white, there we go, but you can't really see that. It's just a little bit of a hint of color in it. So that's my main color. Those are my contrast colors. I will show you, but I was in such a hurry to want to cast this on. These are the colors that I'm using. I had already ordered other colors though, and I really hope somebody does this combination because I think that would be beautiful. Just kind of this camel brown, the bright blue, which is the same blue I'm using, and this really pretty coral. Any one of those would be great for your main color. And I swatched, of course it's probably not in this bag. because it's important. So I'll be right back. Okay. So I knit my first swatch with the lily pad as the main color and the blue and the purple as my contrast colors. I got it wet and blocked it, and my gauge was off. I did this the Saturday night after LYS day. So I got home at, I don't know, 8:30 or 9 o'clock. Told myself I probably shouldn't start something new, but wanted to anyway. Hi, Aunt Jackie. So I did. And I wet blocked it. I looked at it, thought my gauge was off. So I went down a needle size, which is not surprising. I tend to have to do that sometimes. And decided my second one, I would switch up the colors. So same 3 colors, very different look, which I love because it really gives you an idea of how to play around with your colors and decide what you like. I found out after I did this one and blocked them both, I was supposed to go up a needle size, not down a needle size. My gauge was too tight, not too loose, which was so unusual for me that it didn't even occur to me that might be the case. Gail, you like this one better. See, that's what I love. I think so many people, well, 3 different people could use the same 3 colors and have completely different looking sweaters. But if you're not sure, buying one skein of each of 3 colors and playing around with your swatches is a great way to decide what you like. Some of the shop owners have done where they started with the texture pattern, the stripes, and then just did their whatever their main color solid would be. So you would have more of a visual, like the picture with the pattern and then the solid. But I'll show you mine. It has been a little bit more than 4 days, but I was really trying to work on my summer trellis and get that done. Plus, you know, life. But here she is so far. Look at that. I have my sleeves on extra cords with the cute little Knitter's Pride, the mindful little end stoppers. Let's see, I'm at the end of a row. I might actually be able to put it on. Hi, Lisa. Oh, and I was wearing my foxtrot, which was 3 years ago. So last year was fireworks. The year before was the soundtrack. The year before was the foxtrot. So she hasn't done a cardigan in a couple of years. So let's see if I can do this without pulling everything off the needles. Luckily, once you get to the body, there are no increases or decreases. It's just straight stockinette. So look at how pretty that's going to be. It is an open front. So where I am now on the body, I haven't decided. I have seen a couple of other shop owners have added a little bit of this pattern down before they did the ribbing at the bottom. I'm not sure if I should modify it or if I should just knit it straight the way the pattern actually says, which is probably what I should do. But I've got a couple more inches just in stockinette, and then I can get on to the ribbing at the bottom and then the sleeves. And I would say, honestly, the yoke part of this, all your increases are done in the patterning, which I think is really cool. So you don't have like the typical raglan increases. They're just spread out throughout the yoke. That part, getting to splitting for the sleeves and the solid part, took me probably 2 days of just working on this. The body, because it is kind of boring stockinette, has been sort of hit or miss whether I've actually been working on it. You guys know how it is. You get the exciting part done, and then there are all the things you want to cast on. So there's the back of it. I'm very happy with how it's looking so far. It is mosaic, Julie. So Julie's asking if it's stranded or mosaic. It is mosaic, which means you're only ever working with one color at a time. So essentially, if you didn't slip any stitches, your knitting would look like this, these stripes. So down and back with the blue, down and back with the lily pad, down and back with the purple. This is essentially the same thing. You're just slipping a few stitches and moving them. So there is no having to work with two colors at the same time, other than carrying your yarns up the side. Yeah, I think she's been conscious about that, Julie, in not making it too difficult and making it accessible for a wide range of people. So I'm pretty excited about that. And now more will get done now that I can show it in the shop and have it in here. If I have slow times, which is very rare, I will be able to have it out on the table and working on it, which is exciting. So you guys could come in and see it. Yeah, very easy knitting. So really, this makes me want to have waited or just stop working on the one that I'm working on right now and start a new one because I love this colorway. So I've kind of gone all over the place today in order of finished and working on. That's what I've been working on. I also, you know how you get an idea of a project in your head and you just want to make it work and can't. So I had that baby shower on Saturday and I really wanted to knit a pair of, not just because I'm a glutton for punishment. I wanted to knit the cute little booties or socks that looked like it was a Mary Jane, but it really was just a sock in 2 different colors. I tried a few different patterns. Of course, the ones that I could find that I liked were the wrong weight of yarn. And I got like half of one booty done. And it's huge. I mean, it's definitely not a baby booty size. I went down in needle size, but the yarn is, I don't know. It was all off. And I know Victoria was tiny when she was born. She was 3 pounds, 5 ounces. And I have her handprint here on my wrist. But, baby hands and baby feet aren't a whole lot different from preemies to newborns. So size-wise, it's like a 2-year-old, I think. Hi, Diane. So I kind of gave up on that idea because, yeah, I ran out of time. I was working on this on Friday and the shower was Saturday morning. Maybe before the baby is born. So one of the things she also asked me to make for her was a pair of little crochet, well, knitted or crocheted looking Mary Janes in purple. So I tried a knitted one. And it's still too big. I just had some purple cotton around the house I played around with. It's still definitely too big. I finally got a crocheted one that's just about the right size. Look at how cute that is. I haven't put buttons on them yet. But I don't know. They are probably what I'm going to end up going with. I just am not 100% on them. So I like the look and the feel of the knit ones. There, it's a little bit more of a relaxed fabric. So tell me if you have done little baby booties. Elaine Mack, I know, had like an old school pattern that was just a basic booty that she would do quite frequently. Those are cute. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try again. There were a couple cute ones out there. I just wanted to use. I had this whole big idea that the booties, so the shoe part was going to be this, and then the really light peach color that I had, that was the contrast color for the sweater that I made, was going to be the sock color. I was trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, and it was not working. So either knit or crochet. I'm curious to know if you guys have a pattern that is your go-to default, that is kind of a tried and true, either baby booty or little Mary Jane style. Let me know. Put in the comments the name of it, or you should be able to do like Melissa does. If you have it on Ravelry, you could copy and paste it. I just, I know I don't know all the things, clearly. So that's sort of what I'm working on. What I finished, you can probably see it a little bit. I know the lighting in this shop is weird when it comes to stuff like this. So I know you can see a little bit of the patterning. And you may have seen when I got up to run across the room, it's shorter than it's supposed to be. So don't let that freak you out. Ooh, that's really bright now. It's about an inch shorter than it's supposed to be. It is longer in back than it is in front. I have not blocked it yet. I steam blocked it so I could wear it on Friday. So a few of you have seen me in this already, but I know a lot of you weren't here on Friday. So I figured I would wear it today and show it off. It has kind of a high-low hem. And I got to the point the other day where it just kept measuring 9 inches, no matter how much I knit on it, it felt like. And I was supposed to knit to 10 inches, and I just decided if I stretched it, it might be 10. And, we all know how that goes. So either way, I would have worn some sort of cami under it, so it's not a big deal that it's a little bit short. I did also block the, what was it, zinnia? I think the zinnia tee that I wore last week, and it's definitely stretched out some, so it's not quite so snug. And I have that here in the shop too. So that's what I finished. And what I'm working on, now that I have so many things I want to start, you guys, I should really make myself just work on the sail away, the knit along sweater, so I can have it done and in the shop and a shop sample. But I really, really want to cast on that other version of, oh, Diane, those are cute. Another version of the Pure Local wrap. I showed last week the gradient gray and that kind of burgundy color to go with it. It sat here at the table and just called my name all week, but I was really good. I didn't start it. And in fact, I ended up selling the gray gradient that I needed for it. Somebody wanted two, and I had two. So now I have to wait for my next shipment to come before I can start that. So maybe that'll force me to just work on my sweater, get it done, show it off, and then start something new. But guys, no, it's not. It's not that fun to not cast on something new, especially when you've finished a thing. I always feel like at the very least, when something comes off the needles, I should be able to put something new on the needles. So it's just a matter of whether it's that or it's something else coming up. Work on it for the next week. That's an interesting idea, Malcolm. For all my works in progress. I don't think I could commit to working on just one thing for an entire week. Maybe I draw something every day, just not something new every day. A couple things coming up that are pre-orders or pre-sign up, pre-sales, I guess, in addition to ordering yarn for the 4-day knit along sweater. There are two more potential subscription sort of projects coming up. One is Wander Knit. So it didn't take very long for us to sell out the first set of kits that we got from the Wander Knit. So for those of you that don't remember, it was a tote bag, and inside the tote bag had everything that was themed for a specific location in the world. So the first one was Holland. I don't know ahead of time what they are until, I don't know, I think a week or two before they ship to us, they tell us what the location is. But it comes quarterly. Each one is going to be a different location. If you've gotten one, if you got the first one, what are they calling it, like the inaugural? They had something, they had a name for it, but if you purchased one of the first ones, you got a canvas tote with a map of the world on there, and you got a little button that you could sew on for the location. I'm still not quite sure how they're going to work that moving forward, if there are people that missed out on the first one or opted out of it and want to start now. I still want people to be able to get those tote bags. But obviously people that already got one don't need a new one every quarter. So it's a quarterly thing. The next one will be launched in July. So I gotta, sorry. I get my exercise this way. At least I have my little ring light, so it's not totally dark in here when that goes out. Let me get more focused here. So Wander Knit, you get 3 different patterns, the yarns for the patterns, kind of a treat, sort of snacky item that relates to whatever the area is that is the theme for that quarter, and you get a button to put on the tote, and fan. That's not a bad idea, Holly. Or I just need to have somebody else at the other end of the shop. Have Victoria just get up and move around every once in a while. So it's all themed toward whatever the country is that they've chosen that quarter. They're going all the way out to October of 2023. So I've got July, October, January, April, July, October, um, that our shop is considered a frequent flyer, which means we're participating in all of them. So in the next few weeks, I should have something up on the website that allows you to sign up for the subscription. I haven't done that before, so I have a little research to do on how to differentiate between if you just want one specific kit or if you want to sign up for multiples. And along the same lines, I just got an email today that Dream in Color is starting a new subscription of mini skeins. So the way they are setting theirs up is every month for 12 months, I get a bag of mini skeins, 10 different colors. And I will be getting 6 of them. That's it. So every month for 12 months, I'm going to get 60 mini skeins of yarn. And I am offering the opportunity to people to sign up ahead of time if you want all 10 colors every month. The mini skeins are 25 grams a piece. They are approximately 88 yards. If you sign up for all of them, at the end of the 12 months, you will have 120 mini skeins, and that is pretty much all of their colors. So you would have this whole array of minis, which I think would be so cool. And so that will be on Smooshy with Cashmere. Fingering weight. See, there we go. Yeah, so again, that's the same sort of thing where I know that I'll have people that want to sign up. So every month you would be automatically charged, and the sets would be automatically either sent out to you or set aside here in the store. And I think it's going to be really cool. The regular retail value, if you were just to come in and buy the set of 10 mini skeins, after the shop got them, would be $100. For people who are pre-ordering, depending on how many you're pre-ordering, that price will go down. So if you're pre-ordering just 1 month, it might go down a little bit. If you're pre-ordering 6 months, it might go down a little bit more. If you're ordering 12 months, you get the idea. I just think it's a really cool way to play around with different yarns. And they have, you know what I could get and show you guys that I don't think I ever have? Next week, I will dig out the huge tote bag that I have that I think maybe I talked about a little bit, but I never actually showed because I am a frequent orderer from Dream in Color. I have this huge tote that has rings of mini skeins of all of their colors. They're smaller than what this subscription would be, but just to kind of give you an idea of what 120 colors looks like, I'm going to try and make myself a note to dig that out of the back room and have that next week, because I think it's cool to see. And yeah, there are going to be a lot of patterns. We're going to have a lot of ideas for mini skeins. Even the Pure Local wrap could use way more than 6 colors. You could use mini skeins for quite a few of the sections, or kind of alternate like Julie did with the one I showed last week, where you have 100-gram skein in one color and then add in some others along the way. Well, Melissa's coming up with all kinds of good ideas. So those are coming up. My little note fell on the floor. Sorry, I'm trying to read it upside down over a chair. Knit in Public Day, Wander Knit, the Mini Skein Club. Oh, I do have a little bit of yarn here from that box of Malabrigo that I talked about last week. A few of you might just have happened to be here in the shop on Wednesday when I opened things up. Melissa, are you raising your hand at me for real? Oh, yeah. Okay. So in the comments, put in the comments if you want me to go over the colors of Malabrigo that I got last week. I do have them tucked here aside, but I did just share something on Facebook today that Jill Zielinski, who is Knitterella, is a part of, as are two other designers, Kate Oates and I'm trying to find it. Kate Oates and Claire Borchard, Autumn and Indigo. This is their 4th annual knitting pattern bingo. Yes, Malabrigo, yes. So I think it's a really cool concept. It's kind of, you pay one price and you get 10 patterns from each of 3 designers. And I'm not quite sure, I haven't gotten mine yet. I'm not quite sure how it goes in terms of the actual bingo part of things, but you get one pattern every day for the entire month of, I think it's June. Bingo starts June 1st. Cost is $35. I don't get anything from this. There's no kickback or anything like that. I just think it's a really cool thing. Knowing one of the designers that's participating is kind of neat. So I just thought it was something that a few of you might like as well. Oh, Josie, those are cute. See, normally I'm a Ravelry aficionado. Card will be full of numbers, have been assigned. To be a surprise. Huh. So everybody's cards must be different. Kind of a cool concept. I haven't heard of this before. So it'll be new to me and some of you. Maybe some of you have participated in this before. But bingo, come on, how fun is that? And 30 patterns, a pattern every day for 30 days. That's cool too. Okay, so I got one new color of Rasta. And it's this rusty oranges with a little bit of blues. It's called Marte. It's good fall colors. I think this one had been on back order for a little while. So that got tucked in the bag with a lot of Rios. So in looking behind me, I got Ivy. What is that, lettuce? Lettuce. Cereza, Anniversario, Cyan, Bobby Blue. Up here you can't really see it, but they're my favorite gray that they have is called Gris, Gris or Greet. I got a bag of that. That's really beautiful. Teal feather, which you can't see because it's hiding down here. Look at that. Teal feathers, beautiful. Chameleon. So I'm finally getting some variegated back in stock. For a while, it had been a lot of the tonal. The other one that I really, really like is Zara Zamora, which is this one. And I used a few of those, benefit of being at the other end of the shop, in my flax. So this is 5 different colors of Malabrigo Rios. And I just grabbed colors. I know Arco Iris is in here. The bottom one is Zara Zamora. This one is Anniversario. That one might be, or maybe it's backwards. Maybe that's Chameleon and this is Anniversario. Arco Iris, and I don't remember what the top one was. How does the teal look with the first one I held up? What's the first one I held up? Anniversario? That? Anniversario goes well with anything, as does Chameleon. Look at those deep tones in there. Oh, the ivy. I didn't grab the ivy, but I can. The brown. Is that the heavier stuff you're talking about? This? It would be really pretty if it was the same weight. Or you could do something. There is a pattern out there that calls for 2 different weights. It's an owl. That would be really cool. So the flax sweater is a great way to use if you just have a bunch of one skeins of a color. I kind of just took the concept of Andrea Mowry's fading things, as a few other designers have now too, and just striped a couple rows before I switched colors. And if you know Malabrigo, you know it goes without saying, but some may not. Anytime you see a variegated color from them, if you love it, buy it and buy as much as you think you're going to need or want of it, because the next time it will look completely different. I've gotten batches of Anniversario that are mostly purples and pinks. I've gotten batches that are mostly yellows and greens. The more colors that are in a dyed batch, the more likely they are to be different each time. And that does go for the solids a little bit, the tonals, but not quite as much. So I also got, my yarn is running away from me. Zara Zamora. That one goes back up there. I got some sock yarn, Malabrigo sock. So their sock is 440 yards of 100% superwash merino, fingering weight. This one is Fortaleza, which again, now that I have my fingering weight wall by color, I have this yarn in 2 different places based on whether it pulls more of the greens or more of the reds and purples. That's Fortaleza. It really did just kind of jump everywhere. Ocean. This is, I get this in Arroyo and Rios and sock because it's just these deep greens with a little bit of purples and reds. Of course, we have some brights. Here's Chameleon in the sock. So that's just kind of an idea of same colorway, 2 different batches, 2 different weights of yarn too, but I've shown you before when I hold up, you can really see when colors are similar just on different bases, but that's really, look how much they vary. Like this one has a lot of teals and greens. I finally got more myths. So this is one of the 3 colors from the Temperance Shawl, which if I was over on the other side, I could point to, but I'm not. Last year's knit along that Malabrigo did was the Temperance Shawl. So it was this speckled color with gingy, which is kind of a a light brownish color, and then jasmine, which is a pale green. This has been out of stock for a while. Finally got that back. Now we're getting into the brights. Frank Ochre. This color would work really well if you saw the pattern on LYS Day for the single colored shawl that now I can't remember the name of. It'll come to me, or somebody, one of you will remember it. But there was a shawl that was a free pattern with purchase of the yarn, and a lot of people loved that, like kind of mustardy color. And this is really close to what she's got, this Frank Ochre. Reflecting Pool is a good kind of turquoise. For those who want to be seen from a distance, there's fuchsia. It is bright. But of course, you know, it could be toned down very easily with something else. Is that all? Nope. Light of Love. This is one of the colors that Terry, thanks girls. This is one of the colors that Julie used in her Pure Local wrap that I showed last week. One of the bright colors that she had in there was this Light of Love. Beautiful pink. And last, what I love is when somebody asks me to order a specific color for them, and it may have been one that I would overlook, or there are just so many colors out there. I kind of pick and choose things that I know are favorites. This last one, this is not a color that I've had before, but it is beautiful. It's called Cote d'Azur. So blue. Azure is blue, but it is this deep navy. And it's got these dark sections, light sections. So we have Jody to thank for this, because she had asked me if I could order some and set a skein or two aside for her. And I did. And these are not going to stay up on the shelf for very long, or on the hooks, because it's beautiful. I have a lot of blue lovers around here. Hi, Jen. I think that's all. I did have some Malabrigo Verano, which is their cotton yarn. I had some of that tucked away here because I do think it would work really well for this 4-day sweater, the sail away sweater. The structure of the yarn, just if you wanted it to really be like a, I don't know, the sail away makes me think you just gonna throw it on before you get on the boat. So maybe cotton is what you would want to go for. The Verano would work really well. And I have quite a few colors of that, and I have quite a few single lot skeins where it's just 1 or 2 skeins in a specific color. And those would work very well for the contrast colors for the sweater. Okay, I think, yes. As with anything, if there's anything that I mentioned that is something that you want us to set aside for you, just put in the comments. Let us know what you want, how many you want, whether you want to have it sent to you, or if you want to come in the store and pick it up. I'm happy to do either. And you will all see more about the upcoming pre-orders. There's another word, subscriptions, as I figure out what I'm doing with it, how I'm going to structure it exactly. But I think that's all I have for today. You guys, it's almost 8 o'clock. I know I say this every time, but every time I think I don't have a whole lot to talk about. And all of a sudden it's been an hour. There is one last thing. The Makers Market we had here on this past Saturday was really neat. I ended up buying quite a few different things. I bought a belated Mother's Day gift for my mom. I bought a Mother's Day gift for my new to be mom. A couple things for myself. Victoria got some like sparkle hair gel stuff, but there were a lot of really different vendors. So when we have those events, please make sure. I'm just going to finish this the way it is because I'm almost done. Make sure you come and check it out. I really want all of those vendors to have a good experience, and we want them to come back and do other things in the future. So on that note, I hope all of you have a good week, that you are productive and creative, and you get to start some things and finish some things. Cast on all the things. That's my philosophy. Just have a good week. And if I don't see you in the shop, I will see you all right on here next Monday. Bye.